Hello everybody and welcome back to a bit of a different video. I haven't done a Q&A or anything like this for a long time. In fact, the last time I think I did one of these, I had about 30,000 subscribers, so it was nearly 2 years ago that I answered your questions. I posted a YouTube community post and you guys gave me some really good questions, so I'm going to spend a bit of time answering as many as I can. So let's get started. We've got all of these questions ordered from top comments, and let's start with Jacob Dykusen8461. who asked how I come up with such interesting and unique career mode challenges / ideas. Now, I think the answer to this one is mostly that I like to read a lot of Wikipedia pages. It might sound a bit boring, but Wikipedia, the Reddit soccer, and of course the Reddit FIFA careers do come up with a lot of very good ideas. Also, a lot of these challenges are things that I've just done in the past or I've seen for Football Manager and just kind of adapted. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag really. Football Manager, Reddit and Wikipedia are all really good ways to find out about clubs that maybe don't exist anymore, challenges that people have actually done in real life, and things like that. So have a look at those places if you want to come up with your own. Callum Robinson says, what team do I support in real life? He says he thinks I've mentioned it in the past but can't remember, and I have mentioned it quite a few times, but it is Nottingham Forest. They're my local club and thankfully in the Premier League for at least a few more weeks. Mike Howarth 1991 says, other than football, am I into any other sports? I am. I actually used to work for Mercedes Formula 1, so I'm interested in that. I played cricket for my county, so I'm interested in that. I like to play basketball and tennis, but I'm not very good at either of them, so I just do them at the local tennis and basketball courts. So I'm interested in quite a few sports. I'm starting to take up golf as well. I know that's a very footballer sport to play, but it's very interesting and it's something that my family have done in the past. Next up is Lona Nova, who says, have I ever done a Bournemouth Career? Never on FIFA. I did a little bit of one at least on Football Manager back when they were in League One. I remember Mark Pugh was very good. I think I had Lewis Graben possibly, or someone like that. It was an interesting one, but I'm probably not going to do one anytime soon because I think there's more interesting teams in the Premier League. Momo Z7SP asked what my most interesting career mode moment was in any FIFA. This is a tough one too. I actually made a montage of a really cool season I had with Werder Bremen, I think it was, back on FIFA 16 or 17, so I'm probably going to have to say it was that. I'll post some of the montage over what you're watching right now so that you can see what I'm talking about, but there were some nice goals. I put a bit of my favourite music at the time on. I think I even posted it to Reddit so people could watch my little montage, and that video is actually a big reason why this channel even exists, because it got me into editing, it got me into FIFA, and it got me a bit more confident at sharing my gameplay. J34959 says, will I continue with direct through football or something of that kind? I'll probably do 1 or 2 more episodes throughout the rest of this year, but I'm going to focus on it quite a lot at the start of next year because I think I'm one of the only few people that can do something like this on YouTube, and it is kind of like a unique thing that I do, so I should probably be sort of focusing on that a little bit more if I do want to stand out from some of the other channels. I know you guys like it. I actually really enjoy writing those videos as well. They're my favorite ones to write. So yeah, expect to see a lot more of that, but mainly towards the end of this year. FIFA Career Mode Swomi3277 says, do I work apart from the channel? And if so, what do I do? I did for the first 3 years of having the channel, but around Christmas last year, so 2022 actually, so 18 months ago, I got made redundant, and since then, I've just been playing FIFA for a job, and it's quite fun. Of course, there are good points and bad points about just playing FIFA for a living, but it definitely beats working, and I can recommend it if you are ever in a position to do it. War Criminal 2020 hopefully isn't saying what he actually is in real life there, but he said I should do a career mode, create a club like the one Jeff did with Birmingham United. That's one of my favorite saves that I've ever actually watched on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out after you watch this video. And yeah, maybe I could towards the start of next year before mods come out, because create clubs always interesting, and also it's a good way to sort of get people involved because you can name players after them if you're doing a live stream or something like that. That could be a good idea actually. Thanks for sharing that. Yeet Legend asked if I could use one legend or icon in career mode, who would it be? He gave the example of young Thierry Henry, and I'm going to absolutely have to say Ronaldinho. I brought him back to Barcelona in one of my mega career videos a couple of years ago, and it was actually so fun. I think it was FIFA 16, FIFA 15, one of those two. and I really enjoyed using Thierry Henry, but yeah, Ronaldinho is going to be the main man there. One comment that I do get a lot is asking what my recording and editing setups look like. Well, since I last showed it off, there's actually been a big upgrade thanks to today's sponsor, FlexiSpot. They sent me one of their recliner XC6 chairs to review, and I'll put the specs on screen right now. As someone who spends a lot of time either editing with their standing desk or getting footage while sitting down, this chair is by far the best option I've found for this kind of price point. It's comfy as hell, and I actually use both my FlexiSpot standing desk and this recliner literally every day. Thank you for sponsoring basically my entire setup. The rest of the setup is actually pretty easy to explain. For most of the year I play FIFA on my PS5, but recently I have moved back to PC. It's a shame the game crashes quite a lot for me, but mods just make career mode so much better. If you're interested in copying my setup, I've put a link to the chair below, and you can head straight to the product page by clicking the link in the description below. Check them out if you're interested in making your next career mode save even more comfy. Thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. Bug108 says, please do an Exeter City Youth Academy career because you created Ollie Watkins, Ethan Ampadu, Jay Stansfield, and Jordan Story. I've never actually done one of these because they are a little bit long. Youth Academy career modes take, 5-6 seasons at the very minimum, and I've done career modes that long, and I think audiences, maybe with my editing style, they do start to get bored of the videos by that point, so I probably won't do that, but Exeter City are a very interesting team, so if I did, they would definitely be on the list. Isacred10 asks, what's been my favourite and what's my most challenging career mode save? My favourite is probably that Werder Bremen one I talked about earlier, but I also had one with AC Milan on the same game, where I had Michael Carrick in midfield. They were two of my most favourite ones by far, but my most challenging one is also one of my favourites, which was the mega career I did last year, because the end of it, I had to take over Real Madrid and rebuild Morocco in like 2 years. So we tried to win the World Cup, and I think we just about managed to do it, and that was one of the most challenging things I think I've ever done. HMD Halosh77 asks, what's the thing that made me love football and how long have I played career mode? Well, career mode was one of the things that actually made me love football. I loved playing it, but I really liked playing FIFA 2000 back on my PC. That's how old I am. My brother owned it, so I used to play it, and I would only ever play as Manchester United because I kind of supported them back then as well until I was about 7 or 8. So yeah, it's going to be the fact that I played career mode that actually kind of made me love football. Playing as Roy Keane, I tried to play like him in midfield, and it's just a good combination, and that's mainly why I like football. Alanzia Hinchas asked, which city in England do I live in? I used to live in Leicester when I made the majority of the videos on this channel, but now I don't even live in England at all. I actually live in Wales. MWMWMW asks, what is my favourite football team and favourite football player? Nottingham Forest, and my favourite football player ever is Andy Reid, who only Forest fans and maybe a few Sunderland, Charlton and Tottenham fans will remember, and I'd say at the minute, it's probably Anthony Elanga. I'm glad you enjoy my videos and thank you for watching. Samir Hussain says, do you think FIFA Street and online career mode will be in EAFC 25? Of course, I have absolutely no insider knowledge about this, but I think FIFA Street is just Volta now, and I think online career mode won't be added until 2K is about to release their video game in a couple of years' time. Nexi OJF asks, what's my favourite career mode save you've ever done? It's gonna be that Werder Bremen one that I mentioned earlier. Really big fan of the kits, and I also really enjoyed the team at the time. Michael Osborne says he's been watching my videos for about a year and really enjoys them, so first of all, thank you very much for saying that. But how do you get your sliders that realistic? To be fair, most of the time this year, I haven't actually used any sliders at all. I've just been on basic default sliders and just been playing that way. I used the FIFA gameplay mod for a bit when I was playing as Stade de Rennes, and more recently, now that I'm doing this journeyman career across Europe, or the race across Europe, or whatever you want to call it, I'm using the Operation Sports sliders for this because FIFA gameplay doesn't work with the TLP mod. There's a good segue here to MF Doomlover's comment, which asks, which mods do I use on EAFC? So this year I've used the FIFA mod, as I mentioned earlier, which is the biggest one and probably the best mod on EAFC 24, but I'm also using the TLP mod at the minute. Wild Thanos asks, what drives me to continue making videos, and congrats on 80,000 subs. Well, I'm trying to get to 100,000, of course, that's a big target for me right now. Hopefully I can do it by the end of the year, but it might be just into next year if you guys keep enjoying my videos. So yeah, just trying to be successful, and I guess trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. I also really enjoy sharing my ideas too, but I want that plaque pretty bad. FootyFam984 says, what's my favorite team in EAFC to use? Well, I probably have two different options right here. I like using the Italian national team, pretty much the only team that I use if I ever play online seasons. And if I'm just playing career mode, then I'd say Crystal Palace and Manchester United are actually both really fun teams to use. They've got a lot of skillers, a lot of 5-star skillers right there. They've got a lot of money, and also being in the Premier League is always a big plus, especially when you're English. Hello Earth says, what is my favorite career mode series on YouTube? That's going to be Respect to Jeff's Birmingham one from last year, but also I used to really enjoy Cutsy's series where he did a lot of the youth rebuilds, and I also like Docklander's series because he's a little bit more like me. He likes realism and slow-paced content. So Docs, Cutsy, and Respect to Jeff. Arson FC fan says, outside of subscriber milestones, what's been my best ever moment on YouTube? I don't want to be cliche here, but it is going to be talking to you guys on Discord. I know I'm probably not on it as much as I should be, and I don't reply to every single message that I get anymore, but I think that I've met some really cool people on that Discord, you know, people in the staff group, people in this general chats, and some of the guys who've sent me career modes and stuff to read. That's the best stuff, that you guys care enough about my videos to actually go out your way, join a Discord, and send me messages, or, you know, put loads of screenshots and loads of effort into my Discord. It's absolutely amazing, and it really does make me feel very happy about everything about this channel. Potato Poison 1130 says, what keeps me motivated day in and day out? I guess the fact that I have to pay my rent, and YouTube does help me do that, is probably the biggest motivation, but also the fact that I like sharing stories and ideas that I've thought about myself. I've never been that much of an outgoing person, but YouTube definitely has helped me with that. Makali Gaming says, how do I stick to my saves for more than 2 seasons? I think having a difficult challenge or something that you know you can progress in a certain speed always helps you keep your saves for a little bit longer. Just give yourself a Pentagon challenge type style thing, or bring in a team from Division 4 to Division 1, because then you have an end goal and you know your save isn't just going to churn and become endless and just become a bit repetitive. Seth Random says, how do I do a realistic career mode? Watch one of my videos about one of the teams, give it a go, and see if you can learn something from what I say about how transfers should work, or scouting and things like that. Yogi Foot says, when is the face reveal? Well, I've got a series coming up, hopefully this summer. I haven't actually organized it, where I want to do some in real life stuff with some football teams. So if you know any football teams out there that would be interested in me coming to see them, and maybe they're in the Football League or even in the National League or the Welsh Premier, something like that, maybe you will see a face reveal around those videos. Simao Gamer Su says, how can console players have a better career mode experience? Well, I don't think there's actually that much of a difference between PC and console, so any kind of tip that you've seen for PC that isn't about modding can be the case. I mean, you can still do direct through football stuff, you can still do a lot of the challenges, so yeah, just have a look at some tips for what people say and just give them a go and see what works for you. Connor is Good asks, best young player that nobody talks about. That one is tough. I know a lot of people do talk about him, but I do think Murillo at Nottingham Forest is a player I've seen a lot this season, and I do think he's going to go on to be literally Thiago Silva level eventually. His passing is off the charts, he can dribble, he even tries to shoot from about 70 yards every other game. He's got pace, he's not the tallest defender, but I think this guy is going to go to the absolute top. He's got as much potential as someone like Jared Branthwaite, and, you know, he could become Militao, Thiago Silva level, and I think he isn't being talked about quite as much as he should be. Okay, so we've just got 3 comments left now, and then we've replied to literally every single Q&A post on this post. So Basti Weber says, were there careers you're not happy about? There's definitely been career modes that I'm not happy that I finished or didn't actually get around to finishing. The German Journeyman one, I really wanted to finish. I love that idea, and I think some of the scripts that I wrote for that were some of the best things that I've actually written. But yeah, I would say that one's probably the one that I'm most not happy about. It just kind of fizzled out, and eventually the save corrupted, and I just couldn't complete it anymore. Harper's Ferry Blues asks a question I've seen or answered a couple of times already. What was my favorite save ever? Werder Bremen on FIFA 16. If you're talking about on YouTube, I'm going to have to say the Mega Career, because I've wanted to do something like that for a while, and I think you guys really enjoyed it as well, looking at the amount of views some of those videos got. So finally, with a very sore throat, as you can probably tell because I am ill, which is why I'm making this Q&A rather than doing a big video, asks, do you play Football Manager? I do play Football Manager a lot. I've got a video coming out right now. Well, not right now, but in a couple of weeks, probably that is about FIFA Career Mode and Football Manager, and I have got a really cool idea to do with it as well, which I also might be uploading this summer. So if you're interested in Football Manager or want to know how to play Football Manager, subscribe to this channel, and thank you for watching. 80,000 subscribers is absolutely insane. We have more subscribers on this channel now than the biggest match I've ever been to, which was the playoff final when Forest got promoted to the Premier League. That was like 80,200 subscribers, and we're way above that. By the time this video comes out, we might even have 81,000 subscribers, so it is a little bit late, but thank you for all of this support. If you've been here since those Ultimate Team videos back in 2020, then you are absolutely crazy. If you've only been watching this channel for the past 6 weeks or even 6 days, 6 hours, then still, thank you very much for choosing me to subscribe to, because it's so cool that you guys are willing to do that. But thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for another, probably better video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.